Good morning, growers, and welcome to the Growing Garden channel. I am Pietro Isolan, and today I am sitting under an olive tree to talk to you specifically about olive fly. To commence, let us take a brief look at the nature of the olive fly, the havoc it wreaks, and the various preventive and potential treatment measures. The olive fly belongs to the dipteran species and falls under the vast category of flies. It bears striking similarities to other fruit-infesting flies. The fly's modus operandi involves depositing an egg inside the olive. This egg hatches to give rise to a maggot-like creature called bacino, which proceeds to consume the olive from the inside. Subsequently, the worm either exits the olive and falls to the ground, or it separates itself from the fruit and forms a pupa, eventually transforming into an adult insect within a protective shell. This entire process takes about 3 weeks, starting from the initial egg deposition to the emergence of an adult. Under highly favorable conditions with mild winters, multiple generations of the fly can occur in a single year, amounting to as many as 5 or 6 generations. Now let us shift our focus to the very olives that serve as the fly's primary target. It is easy to comprehend that the initial obstacle for the fly in laying its egg within the olive lies in penetrating the outer skin. Therefore, a viable approach would be to utilize copper-rich substances in order to strengthen the peel, or with maceratis. As we have mentioned in other videos, horsetail macerati, for example, goes to strengthen plant tissues, making them more resistant to insects and mold. Copper, on the other hand, particularly Bordeaux mixture, increases the resistance of the skin to fly borers, so it can be useful to use it. The other product that is mixed with Bordelaise pulp is kaolin, which is a clay that is often white in color that goes to create a protective coating right on the olive that even seems, because of the color, to disorient, let's say, the fly, that generally obviously recognizes the green color. Seeing the white olive tends to no longer recognize it as an attractive object but moves away. Some other research says that kaolin instead helps to strengthen, along with copper, the olive skin, and in this way again the fly cannot pierce it. But let's try to go back a step further. One of the first defense strategies is to implement proper pruning, because if we create proper air passage between the branches of the olive tree, we also counteract the fly's ability to be able to lay eggs in peace. Another strategy is to keep animals in the olive grove, especially chickens, because some research has shown that chickens go to eat the olive fly when it is in its pupa stage, so when it is in the ground waiting to flicker. And this is very interesting because we go with the animals, besides of course fertilizing the olive grove, etc., also to contain the insects. Still, another strategy is not to leave the olives unharvested on the trees, because in case there is a mild winter, the olives left on the tree, maybe with the egg inside, will have a chance to make the egg open, to give birth to the worm that then falls on the ground in pupa stage and flickers. And if really the winter is not cold, it could also be that there is more than one generation. So always, if possible, harvest the olives. I saw this happen in the Mayo of 2014, where in the previous year there was a super abundant production. There were olives even in the abandoned olive groves, and precisely in those olive groves they were not harvested. And the following year there was an extraordinary historical fly attack even on the farm where I worked out of 4,000 olive trees. Not a single one was harvested because it was impractical. In part, they were completely infested with worms. In part, they had fallen directly to the ground. Unfortunately, let's not forget, in fact, that harvesting our olives with olive fly, worms greatly worsens the quality of the oil, because we are going to crush along with the vegetable fat, the animal fat of the worms, and that's not exactly a good thing. It primarily entails an escalation in the oil's acidity level. A crucial recommendation is to closely assess the actual presence of the olive fly. The regional technicians advise the companies to deploy traps for monitoring and then collate the data, reporting back to the regional level to determine if there is an issue that year. Alternatively, commercially available pheromone traps can be used on your own olive grove to establish whether intervention is necessary. Another direct method to verify this is by sampling your olives and checking if they have been punctured by the fly. Although the hole may appear small, it is visibly noticeable. Lastly, in order to safeguard our beloved olives, let us discuss the necessary measures to employ if a significant infestation occurs. One such method is the utilization of natural insecticides such as pyrethrum and spinosad, both of which are permitted in organic farming. Unfortunately, these insecticides also have a non-selective effect, leading to unintentional devastation of pollinators. Another technique to mitigate the olive fly in the event of a severe infestation is to employ selective traps designed specifically to capture adult olive flies and thus reduce the population. Notably, the tap trap and pot trap come highly recommended and have demonstrated proven efficacy. I certainly hope I have provided you with enough information to help you understand more about the olive fly. That's all for today. If you have any remaining questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section below. I will be back next time to share more knowledge about olive crops.